Cheers, Hog fans. We're through to the Sweet 16, and we're back again for another betting show for the Sweet 16. I'm thrilled to be joined by our friend Jacob Gurcan, who, now that his team Marquette, I think he's a full-on Hog fan at this point. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that would be correct, Noah. I will be cheering for the Hogs all the way through this tournament after Marquette lost. Hey, Wisconsin's still alive in the NIT right now. We just beat Oregon last night. We're going to the semifinals,
Hey, I
but
talked to
you know
I
what?
talked to
It's
Walt.
NIT.
I talked to Walt, and he played the Badgers last night, and
It's the not invited.
yes, not invited tournament. But yeah, Walt
Yeah,
played
it's
the
the not
Hawk
invited
played the
tournament for a
Badgers last
reason.
night, and they pulled through for him.
Yeah.
He's on like a crazy hot streak right
Huh?
now. But hey, both of us, we can we didn't do badly on our show. I mean, it wasn't the best. I think my picks were 4-3, which is just about dead even if you look at the money. But then I had a bunch of picks in the second in the round of 32, and I believe I was like 7-2 in the round of 32, but we didn't put those on the docket. Shout out TCU for the backdoor cover.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, how about Princeton? I could have never foreseen that happening. I mean, I was kind of high on Mizzou, but they just didn't make shots in that game. It's simple as that. Mizzou needs to make shots if they're going to stay in a game.
Yeah, it's March. There's no other explanation. It's March. I love
And
it.
yeah. Okay, well, let's get into these games. First game tipping off is going to be Michigan State and K-State. And I've tried so many ways to find a way on this game, to find somewhere I want to play some money, and I just can't do it. I think K-State, that point guard, Marquise Noel. I mean, I don't want to bet against that guy, but as soon as I saw Michigan State in their first game of the tournament, they've got all the pieces. They really do. They are never going to be easy.
Yep.
And like you said, Tom Izzo in March.
You cannot ever count out Tom Izzo in March. It's as simple as that. They ended up beating Marquette. It was a great game until it wasn't for Marquette fans. Sorry about it. But yeah, you can never count out Tom Izzo in March. They have a veteran, experienced team now, and
To
I
me.
wouldn't be shocked if they beat K-State. That's a very weird line,
Yeah. Yeah.
personally,
It's
and
extremely
so I will
weird.
not be touching this game at all.
Yeah. I,
Weird, weird.
I, if that over, the over looks kind of enticing to me, but if you look at the best team this tournament so far has been the under. I believe that if you took all the unders in the first weekend, you'd be doing pretty well. But I actually did bet a total. I said I wouldn't, but I bet the over on the Creighton Baylor game just because I saw Creighton's bigs. Baylor wasn't going to be able to deal with Creighton's bigs, and Creighton wasn't going to be able to deal with Baylor's guards. And so I did hit on that over. So I'm 1-0 on betting totals this tournament, but I don't know if I'll come back to it.
Nice. I ended up hitting an under pretty nicely with San Diego State and Charleston. Ended up hitting that under. That one felt pretty good.
Okay, not oh that one fit. Yeah, that was too obvious. Um,
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
that one was free to me.
yeah. Well, Arkansas, UConn. We've got wow, it's moved to 4.5. I think it opened at 3.5 for
Woo!
UConn. That's tasty.
If
I
Arkansas
actually
wasn't playing,
go ahead.
sorry, go. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was saying if Arkansas wasn't playing like, in my opinion, the third best team left in the tournament,
mhm.
I would love them every which way. But I think that the rest is going to mess with them too much. Arkansas was hot, you know, playing every other
Uh,
day. What was the first game? Thursday. They won on Thursday and then they won on Saturday. If they'd played again on Monday, I would have loved them every which way in this game. But I'm gonna stay away. I'm not saying they're gonna lose, but I'm just staying away.
okay. Well, I will just give you a little bit of a fact nugget here.
Let's hear it.
Eric Musselman coached Arkansas basketball teams have never lost a game the opening basically with 3+ days of prep time. They've only lost in that 2-day after game in the Saturday Sunday game. They've only ever lost in that in the NCAA tournament. So and you hear all the players talking about it. Coach Musselman is probably the best, and his staff. You got Keith Smart, you got Gus, you got Ronnie Brewer. You got a lot of great guys on that staff. They are probably the best scouters in the whole country, the best at preparing their teams for matchups, in my opinion. So that makes me love the Hogs. I love them at 4.5. I love them at I actually got them at 4. I already put mine in at 4. But I also, the money line's juicy. I saw on some sites it's up to like 165. FanDuel's got it at 152.
No way.
So I think I did see some people saying that they feel like that if it's a close game, Arkansas is going to pull it out just because of the coaching advantage. So it's almost just not worth laying or taking the points. You might as well just take the value on the money line. And I do see the rationale there.
I like that a lot. Musselman knows how to get his guys ready. I would trust Arkansas. The only thing that they have to avoid, I think you and I would agree on, is getting down a lot early.
Mm-hmm.
Like
especially with a team like UConn,
game route.
And with them being able to just feed their bigs. When you're playing with a lead, when you've got just a dominant big, and they've got 2 of them, that would be really tough, I think. But I have to say I like the Hogs here. I don't think the national media is giving us enough credit, and like I said, is like this team just needed a little bit of confidence. We hadn't beaten a big team all year. Our best win was San Diego State or at Kentucky. And now that we've got that confidence, knowing that we can do it, and the fact that Nick and Anthony Black combined for 4 points and we still beat Kansas, I love it. So I'm on the Hogs.
I'm extremely excited to watch this game. This game, in my opinion, is probably the best out of the Sweet 16 slate that we have.
Far. That and then Gonzaga UCLA, I think, are going to be the 2 best games.
I just think Gonzaga UCLA, hot take, is going to be less entertaining. It'll be a great game.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a snooze fest.
UConn
just a rock fight.
It's going to be quite entertaining.
Yeah, it's going to be physical. That's for sure. I heard somebody saying that like the first 4 minutes in terms of the referees is going to be really, really key. And I think foul trouble might decide that game. I really do.
You're going to see bodies flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
Okay, well then here we've got how is this moved in tennis? I don't know how this has moved down to 4.5, but I love it. Tennessee, Florida Atlantic. I'm all over Tennessee in this game. I'm all over them. What about you? And I'll give my reasoning once I hear you.
Yeah, this is my best bet so far of the Sweet 16. I would go with Tennessee minus 4.5. I'm not sure why they're 4.5. Tennessee is extremely knowledgeable. Like, they're a very good team, and people don't realize that as well. Florida Atlantic, let's just think about who they've played. So first they beat Memphis by 1 at the buzzer, if you remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat
Memphis kind of choked the game away.
Yep, exactly. Florida Atlantic arguably should not have even gotten out of the first round, and then they drew a 16 seed in the second round. No disrespect to FTU. Congratulations on that win. That was awesome.
And congratulations on losing your coach.
Yeah, that too. He went to Iona, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
He did.
But yeah, Tennessee, I don't know why this game is 4.5. To me, this should be like a 7 or 8.5 game. So I'm all over this 4.5.
They do. I think the computers like Florida Atlantic just because they only lost 3 games all year. But my biggest thing with this game is that Tennessee, probably the best defensive team in the whole country. Florida Atlantic has not come close to playing a defensive team, a team that plays defense like Tennessee. And there's no way you can replicate that. There really is no way you can simulate it in practice. There's no way. They're going to have to just absolutely shoot the lights out from 3 if they want to have any chance in this game. So I love Tennessee,
Totally.
even though they're missing their best guard. Ziegler tore his ACL, but I mean they beat Duke. They looked pretty good offensively against Duke. They I don't see Tennessee losing this game, and honestly, I don't see it being that close.
Yep, I agree. I mean, Tennessee, yeah, their defense is just unbelievable. This game, the over under is 129 and a half,
Dude,
and
I
that's
still
the
like the
lowest out of
under.
any game.
I still
That's the
like the
lowest
under.
game out of the Sweet 16 slate, and by a pretty significant margin because the next lowest one is SDSU and Alabama at 137 and a half.
Yeah,
This one is
yeah.
129 and a half.
Hmm.
This is going to be just smothering defense from Tennessee, and I don't think that these FAU guys, it's awesome that they haven't, lost that many games this year, only three, but I don't think they've played a real defense like Tennessee. They're going to get clamped, and they're going to have to figure something out, their guards especially, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I love four
Okay.
and a
I'm
half.
I'm glad we're on the same page there. Gonzaga UCLA. This is just the biggest stay away game. I want to take UCLA, especially with the
Mhm.
revenge factor um, from that Jalen Suggs game a few years ago, the Johnny Juzang versus Jalen Suggs overtime, or
That
no,
was
was
the
it over? I mean, one of the best games in
greatest
NCAA
game
tournament
I've ever
history.
seen.
Yeah, yeah. But
That was incredible finish.
mhm.
Juzang lays it up to the rim, and then Suggs takes it out with like 3.5 seconds, pulls up from
Banks,
half court, basically, banks
banks
it
it in.
in, runs up on the scores table, going all nuts. I
Yeah, that was
actually
also
just
a
watched that.
legendary celebration. The way he just went up on the scorers table and just, oh yeah, that was amazing.
Oh,
Um,
that was. With
and
that
then
being said, this game is going to have a lot of energy to it because both these teams definitely
mhm.
remember that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is when I'm fine to just put my feet up and watch, and hopefully the Hogs will have advanced to the Elite Eight for the third straight year, and I can just start thinking about who we're gonna play. But honestly, coming into the tournament, I didn't love either of these teams that much in terms of national championship potential. And I know that UCLA has got Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez and those guys with all that tournament experience. Um, but I just don't think UCLA is necessarily deep enough to go all the way here. But they can definitely beat the Zags. I think this is going to be a tight game all the way around. I don't think there's going to be an inch given. If I did have a play, I'd say it's the under. That 145 does seem a little bit high.
That's crazy. I was actually thinking the exact same thing. I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna put my feet up and watch this game. If I'm gonna be honest, they should probably put this one on TNT instead of whatever NBA game they have on Thursday because it probably is not gonna be as good as this game.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
with that
I
being
wouldn't be.
said, I'm not gonna touch this game. I actually might consider a live bet on whoever's losing at halftime as long as it's close.
Yeah,
If someone's getting beat by 15, might not be worth it, but if it's a close game, I might actually wager on the loser at halftime, but we'll see.
yeah. No, I like that. I like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this game, if nobody's up by more than like six the whole time. I feel like it could be another just a back and forth type thing, kind of like the game was a few years ago.
Totally.
But let's move on to the Friday games. The first one we're kicking off with is Alabama San Diego State, and I feel very strongly about this. Alabama -7.5. I love it. What about you?
Yep. SDSU can't score the ball like Alabama can, but SDSU can play some good defense.
I know everybody
I
talks
was
about these great.
considering,
Everybody talks about these great defense. SDSU being this great defensive team, and they really are. But they play in the Mountain West Conference, and people never give Alabama enough credit for their defense. They are long. They are athletic. They block shots. They've got one of the best rim protectors in Bediako. There's just no easy buckets against this team. And then you give the fact that anybody can pull up from three anywhere. They're going to get up a million shots a game. and they're going to make a lot of them. They have the best player in the country, hands down. I don't think San Diego State is going to be able to score the ball enough to keep it close.
Yeah, I also like 7.5 here.
I hate laying 7.5 points too. I'm not the type of guy to do that, but I don't
I
see this
know
game going any other way.
that's the 7.5 is so weird because that can totally, free throws at the end and fouling and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like,
But you look at
it's
Alabama; they don't miss a lot of free
17
throws.
seconds left.
They
I
don't.
know, but there's 17 seconds left and San Diego State's fouling and stuff. They're down by like 5 or whatever. Hit 2 free throws. San Diego State comes up, misses a shot, foul again. It's just scary when you have to factor in the foul game at the end like that with
Mhm.
a spread like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've said
But
enough
I
there.
actually like the money line for parlay.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry, I do like the money line for parlay potentially.
yeah.
I don't like any parlays larger than 3, especially in March Madness. But if you could pair this with something else that's like -200,
Well,
-175,
yeah.
something like
I
that,
have a I
could
have
be
one
could be
money
fun.
line. I have one money line parlay that I'm going to be taking, which is Texas, Alabama, and Tennessee, which would come out to plus 186.
Ooh,
Um, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's move on to Miami, Houston, and I want to take Miami so bad in this game, but I just can't.
nope,
I just can't. Miami's playing really, really good ball. Um, but
they
it's
are. I
just a
think they're
weird
pretenders.
line, and you see that the public is all over Miami in this game. Um, and the line hasn't moved. Uh, it's just and another thing with the way it's like these teams that haven't played against these crazy good defensive teams, like Miami's playing in the ACC. Who's the best defensive team that they played all year? Not even going to come close to the way
Probably
Houston plays
Virginia.
defense. So
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
true.
I'm
Houston,
gonna just stay away.
you
I
can't get
wish,
buckets.
yeah, but Isaiah Wong in the tournament. I mean, I don't want to bet against that guy either. I wish I had. I felt strongly about Miami coming into the tournament, and I had some people kind of throw me off of them a little bit. I wish I would have been on them in both their games because I felt good about them, but I didn't. I didn't play them either game.
Yeah, I think this game, if Miami wins it, is gonna have to be won by the rest of their supporting cast.
Hmm.
Houston has a good enough defense where they can just load up on Wong, and they're probably going over that right now because they had a few days to prepare for this. And I guess they have tomorrow as well.
Hmm.
Um, but I think they're gonna load up on Wong, and it's really gonna be on the rest of the group to try to pull something together because they're gonna get open shots, I think, because they're gonna be doubling Wong. I guess we'll see what happens, but I think they're gonna be doubling Wong a lot. Um, so their other guys are going to have to hit open shots, and it'll be on Sasser, Shed, and whoever else decides to try to score for Houston
Hmm.
to win it. But Houston can't score either, so we'll see.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
actually like the under. I actually like the under in this game.
Yeah, that's a pretty good play. You might catch me playing that. And as you get just as you get further along in the tournament, the under just seems like such a great play sometimes, because these games just come in to grind it out rock fights a lot of the time. Um, but I think the next game, I don't know why it's not showing up on my FanDuel, but Creighton Princeton, I just can't touch this game. I'm sorry. After what I saw, Princeton, that was the most what the fuck just happened game I've ever seen. They beaten Arizona and fucking Missouri. Like they're legit. I want to take them, but I can't do it with how good Creighton's. I mean, Creighton's not that deep, but their 5-man unit is is up there with the best teams in the country. I think. I think it's up there with Alabama and UConn.
I agree. Creighton's playing really good team ball right now, which is how you get deep in the tournament, defense and team ball. You can't just have one guy, one score, and just be like, give him the ball, shoot it. That's not how you win the tournament. That's not how you go deep. You need a complete team, and Creighton does have that. With that being said, Princeton has been the giant killer so far, and I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. 9.5 is a really weird line too.
Well, because they're
Um,
begging you to take
I would
Princeton.
think
They're
more than
begging
nine
you
and a
to
half.
take Princeton.
I know that, and that's what I'm not going to do. But I guess what I'm debating is if I would take Creighton at 9.5 or not.
And the answer for me
And I'm
is
leaning towards
absolutely
staying
not.
away.
Yeah. So
Yep,
I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching that game. Um,
me too.
so and but honestly,
I'll be cheering for Princeton.
I think if Creighton covers, I think it'll be through free throws at the end of the game type shit. I don't think they're just gonna come out and absolutely fucking blow the guys out of the gym, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so last game, Xavier, Texas. I do have a play, and it's Texas minus 4.5. I think Texas has looked as good as anybody in the whole tournament so far. Um, and Xavier has not impressed me. They've I mean, all year. Every time I've turned them on, I feel like against a good team, especially, they have not been able to perform at their best. I love Sule Boom. And the white dude, I'm forgetting his name right now, but I've never been the biggest Sean Miller fan, to be totally honest, their coach. Um, and they got a pretty favorable draw in the first two rounds.
They
But it
got
did.
an absolute cakewalk.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Um,
I
and you saw kind of the animosity between the teammates in their game against Kennesaw State, which they quite frankly almost lost. And you saw those guys just yelling at each other. I never that always puts me away from betting on a team for sure. And just with the way Texas has played all year, they've gotten better since the Chris Beard firing in actually a preseason scrimmage game that didn't count. It was like a charity scrimmage. Texas 30 balled Arkansas, and it was a fully healthy Arkansas with Brazil and Nick Smith.
Brazil was playing. Ooh,
Yes,
that's bad.
and Smith. So
Jeez.
I mean, I'm very high on Texas. I I I like them to come out of the region for sure.
I also like Texas 4.5. I wish we had some more head heads with these spreads, but I guess great minds think alike. But yeah, I love Texas on the spread. Xavier has been, just like you said, unimpressive to me so far this tournament. They almost lost to a 14 seed. Like, let's remember that.
Hmm.
You've got Kunkel fighting his teammates. Like, what is going on there? I
Yeah, and
mean,
I'm
Texas.
not betting on a dude named Kunkel.
That too, that
Now they do have
too.
a dude named
But
Boom.
I
That's
like
pretty sick.
Texas
So
every
I guess
which
it
way here.
counteracts. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So yeah, we are on a
Yep, I
very
like Texas on the money line. I like Texas.
okay, great. Yeah, so like I said, I got that money line parlay with Texas, Tennessee, and Alabama at plus 186 on FanDuel at least. I will be playing that, and I think we should get to some region winners and at least look at the national champion futures. So here I've got. I just don't know how you can't put put money on that Arkansas at plus 600 to win the West. I just think that is incredible
It's worth
value.
it.
Obviously, it's a two-game parlay of them beating UConn and then the winner of UCLA Gonzaga. But plus 600,
To
I
me,
love it.
that should be like it should be plus 350 to plus 400. That
Hmm.
600 value is too much to not take.
If
I
you're thinking
mean,
about it
do
as
I
a
think they
team,
actually come out? Do I actually think that they're going to come out? I don't know, but the value on that is just way too good to pass up. And Arkansas has been that team so far.
hmm okay, moving on to the South. Bama's at minus 145. Um, and Creighton at plus 175. Uh, yeah, I don't want to do anything there. That's just, yeah. I mean, minus
So
145 for Alabama to win in the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. I don't think I can justify that at all.
So let's see here. A $50 wager will return 34.48 right now on FanDuel. Um, what I am considering is selling my car, mortgaging my mother's house, selling all my pets, all of my belongings, everything to my name, and putting it on Alabama to come out of this region. At
Not a bad
145,
call.
is actually pretty decent value. With that being said, look at the other three players: Creighton, SDSU, or Princeton. I'm going to go out on a whim and say that Princeton is not going to make it out. So it's between Alabama, Creighton, or SDSU. And I don't think Creighton or SDSU are able to win two more games in a row here. It's as simple as that. Alabama is by far the
assuming
best team.
you get Creighton, Alabama, I really don't think that Creighton is the type of team that you want to take out Alabama. I really don't think they're the type of team that would do it.
I agree.
All right. Yeah, I mean minus 145 isn't horrible. I mean, totally honest when I'm thinking about it.
In terms of like laying substantially on, might be worth it, but I'll do some further considering before I do that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, the Midwest, you got Houston at minus 110, Texas at plus 190, which I love. And then Xavier at 600 and Miami at plus 700. Um, yeah, you'll probably catch me. I'll be putting some down on Texas to win the region. I just I just think they're flat out better than Houston, and they've played much better teams all year. I know you
Yeah,
would
with
probably
that minus
disagree. I know
110
you're
right
high on.
there, I'm
Go
very
ahead.
high on Houston, and I'm gonna stick with that. I don't like 110 though, because Vegas is just begging you to take Houston here,
Mhm.
and which I will not be doing, but I still like Houston to come out of this region. Texas, they are going to beat Xavier, and then they'll play a really good game against Houston, but I think Houston will come out on top at the end of that. But I wouldn't be shocked by the least if Texas ended up coming out.
Okay. All right. Now this region, the East, I kind of this is my I could you could catch me doing this, and that's putting I mean a pretty much equal amount on Michigan State and Kansas State to win the region because I really do think that the winner of that game is going to win the region. I because they come from Power Five conferences, they played against great defensive teams, and I just don't believe in Tennessee's ability to score the ball enough to get to the Final Four if they're playing a Michigan State or a Kansas State. That's going to be very hot.
This could be another Final Four Tom Izzo masterpiece.
It
I
really
mean,
could be. I
looking
mean,
at
he
these
hasn't been
odds
there in a
right now,
while.
no one is talking about Michigan State right now, and I think that's how they like it.
And if you
They're
look at them,
learning.
watch them play and tell me that they don't have all of the fucking pieces. They've got that I'm forgetting his name, but that white dude who's like 6'7" and he's shooting, I think 60% from three
Come
in his
on,
last like
Hauser.
10 games. Hauser, yeah. And then you've got
The state of
Tyson,
Wisconsin hates them.
yeah. You've got Tyson Walker, that's his name. Um,
Yep.
and then you've got Hogard. I mean, they've got the fucking pieces to do this thing. if they can get past Kansas State, who is also a bunch of dogs. They've got Desi Sills, Arkansas transfer, from
Deontay Johnson.
from Moses Moody's team 2 years ago. Keontae Johnson, who honestly didn't have his best game against Kentucky, and they still pulled that one out. And then they've got what's his name, the point guard. I just said his name earlier. Marquise Noel. He reminded me of Trey Burke that on Michigan. Remember when he just refused to let his team lose and just hit step back three after step back three and was just dropping dimes everywhere? He's giving me major Trey Burke vibes.
I can see that a lot. I mean, this one to me is the most wide open. I think the only team that won't be making it is Florida Atlantic. But I could reasonably see any three of the other teams making it.
Well, and I don't know if I said the odds. I'm sure you looked at it, but Florida Atlantic at plus 170. I don't like that at all. Plus 470.
Yeah, 470 is just not good odds, first of all, for FAU. I think Vegas is asking a lot of people to bet on Tennessee at 125, which is valid, but I think Michigan State is the play here.
Yeah. I mean, if you told me to pick one of these four teams, I would take Michigan State. But my pick is that I think the winner of Michigan State, Kansas State is going to go to Houston. I think so for sure.
I like it.
Okay, well, I guess let's look at right before we're done. We got 3 minutes left. Let's just look at national champion odds. Alabama plus 330. Don't hate it. UConn at plus 850 looks pretty okay for me.
Texas plus 1,000.
Plus Texas plus 1,000. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I love that. And I mean, if you're looking for a bomb, obviously I'm going to have some on Arkansas plus 4,000. Yep. But if you're looking for a bomb other than a homer pick, I would say Michigan State at plus 2,500.
Yep, this would cement Tom Izzo's legacy as one of the greatest college coaches of all time if they were able to pull it off this year. I love 2,500, especially because I do think they will be going to the Final Four. I don't know if they can beat Alabama or Texas, Houston, or, Connecticut, whoever comes out of there. But 2,500 is likable a lot. Alabama at plus 330 to me still is not a bad bet because they have to win 4 more games. And I do think they will be coming out of the region.
And I so at that point,
it's just how don't perform in the Final Four.
Exactly. I really don't think they're missing the Final Four, based on what's in front of them. I mean, it's like the only thing I can compare them to is like that Baylor team that won it 2 years ago. That like they are just better than everybody else, and everybody put Gonzaga in with them, and then they played them in the championship and absolutely dog walked them. Yeah, that I think that's it for us. I think we've ran this down a little bit, and we'll be back for the Final Four, maybe with some old player props, because we're gonna have to get interesting. We won't have that much to talk about. There will only be 3 games left. But right now we got 15 games left, and I guess before the Final Four, we'll probably have time to do a little bit of an Elite Eight show, maybe, because I won't take that long. But yeah, I'm glad we got to do this. Go Hogs, and I hope that all of our bets win. Oh, by the way, we put it on the board. I had Virginia losing, you had Indiana in the first round. So I'm 1-0 on the board.
That's tough. Well, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. It's great to be back. Shout out to the Hogball podcast. thank you to the entire state of Arkansas. Love y'all. Go Hogs.
Woo pig suey. All right. See y'all.